This unit we've been working on is about expressions. Expressions are basically like a phrase. There are no equal signs, so that would make it an equation. An expression does have variables because it is algebraic. If I look at the expression 3n plus 17, n is called a variable. The number that is multiplied with the variable, remember it's like it's with the variable, so we think of our stem co, so it's a coefficient. And the positive 17 that's being added on the end, since it's not multiplied with the variable, it's just a constant. We started off by writing expressions, and we talked about keywords such as increased, or less than, or decreased, sum, quotient, product. Make sure that you know what those words mean. Difference, we took notes, so you should know what those words mean and what operation they would be matched with. For example, if I have 5a minus 11, I could phrase this as 11 less than the product of 5 and a. Or I could say the difference between 5a and 11. So you should be able to both write expressions that go with phrases, and you should also be able to write phrases that go with expressions. Then we moved on to combining like terms. Like terms are going to have the same variable, the same exponent, or maybe they have no variable. So looking at these, I'm going to start with 3a. So I see another a over here, and we always make sure that the sign in front goes with that coefficient. So the 3a is matched up with the positive 4a, and when I combine those, I get 7a. When I look at 2, it's a constant, but remember that the sign in front has to stay with it. So it's a negative 2 and a positive 5. When I combine negative 2 and positive 5, I subtract because they have different signs, and I keep the sign of the higher number. So those two would combine to be a positive 3. Then when I go to read my expression, it's 7a plus 3. And let's try another one that has more than one variable. Okay, so if I was looking first of all at the 7x, that's just an x to the first. The only other one that has an x to the first, or no exponent on it, is the negative 8x. When I combine those, different signs, one's positive, one's negative, so I subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number. So my 8 is bigger than 7. I'm going to end up with a negative 1x. Now you can write negative 1x or just negative x. Same thing. X squared, I have a negative 9x squared and a positive 2x squared. Again, different signs, subtract. 9 is the higher number. It's a negative 7x squared. When I go to read this, then it's negative 7x squared minus x. Or I could have written the negative x in front, minus 7x squared. So those two answers say the same thing. We also practiced distributive property, which was review of past grades also. So we have a number multiplied with the parentheses, or the quantity of. Let's say we have 3w minus 2. So the number outside, since it's being multiplied with the entire parentheses, has to be multiplied with both terms in there. So there's a positive 3w, there's also a negative 2. So I multiply both. 5 times 3w would give me 15w. 5 times negative 2 would give me negative 10. And that is the distributive property. If there happens to be other things outside, such as, let's try 12 minus 3 parentheses 2a minus 4 parentheses and then minus a. I'm going to just concentrate on the parentheses part first. The parentheses is being multiplied with -3, not just 3, -3. So I'm going to ignore the 12 and I'm going to ignore the minus a at the end. And all I'm going to concentrate on is multiplying -3 times 2a and then -3 times -4. So -3 times 2a is -6a. And -3 times -4 is +12. Now that reads as -6a plus 12. I'm going to bring down the other items that were out there that we ignored. So the 12, +12 in the front comes down. Now it reads as 12 minus 6a. Remember, I'm interchanging the negative and the minus words. And then the minus a at the end. Now I can go through and combine like terms. Constant, constant, both positive, same signs, add and keep. So 12 plus 12 is 24. -6a, -1a, -7a. Oh, I don't have a symbol in front of my 24. So since I put the 24 after the -7a, I have to have either plus or minus in there. Well, since it came out to +24, I'm going to put a big positive sign there. So -7a plus 24. So far, all I've reviewed is simplifying, which means get it as simple as you can. But sometimes when we're given an expression, 8x minus 4, that's simplified. That's as far as I can go. But if I ask you to evaluate, then I have to give you some number to substitute in for the x. So maybe evaluate when x equals -3. Well, that means I have to rewrite this as 8 times -3 minus 4. Multiply first, order of operations always. So multiply first, I get 8 times -3 is -24 minus 4 equals -28. So when I am given a value to substitute in for the variable, I can evaluate it and I can get it down to just one number answer.